This is Off Script
on Dubai Eye 103.8, the UAE's #1 talk radio station.
You are listening to Off Script, and we're joined in the studio by a very special guest. In fact, we've had him in the studio before, Chris. This was just about a year ago, just a little under a year ago, because he came in to tell us about a world record, which kind of blew us away. Shehab Allam, also known as Aquaman DXB, had broken a record for handcuffs swimming 3 kilometers. And now he's joined us in the studio once again. Welcome, Shehab.
Thank you for inviting me to your show again. Good to see you guys.
Yeah, and you're here to tell us about a new record that you're attempting, that you're planning to attempt very soon. What exactly are you getting up to?
So I decided to make the challenge a little bit more exciting this time. So I decided to make it with handcuffs and leg iron tied together.
Okay. So
was that too boring for you? I mean, just handcuffed.
Just the first, yeah, it takes 6 hours. This one approximately 9 hours. So yeah, it's going to be a long time.
Now, you were just telling us off air, Shehab, when you came in, you actually told us about this after you broke your first world record. You said, listen, guys, I'm going to come back. I'm going to tie my wrists, tie my ankles. I'm going to break the world record. When you were going to attempt this, the world record was what?
Was 3 kilometers.
Right. Unbeknown to you, someone also saw that record and has actually set a new mark. That new mark is what?
10.5.
So the world record to beat now for you is 10.5 kilometers.
Yes.
And you're going to be in the water for 9 hours.
Yeah, I'm expecting this.
Explain to our listeners, how will this look like? Give us a vision of how you're going to be restrained and just how difficult this is going to be for you.
So the first record, I was only putting handcuffs and swimming. It took 6 hours. And during this for a full 11.6 kilometers, which was my record, I was changing between breaststroke, legs kicking, freestyle, backstroke, breaststroke. So it was a lot of group muscles that I'm using, which helped me to rest some group muscles and work the other. But this time is going to be only depending on one group muscle, which is the one involved for the dolphin kick. And actually in the training also, I found it's a bit challenging to have the water and the supply during the swim as before. So I had to really balance myself. I have to take a full breath while I'm floating on the surface to just rest a little bit. So it's a bit challenging.
It's actually, correct me if I'm wrong, the dolphin kick is probably the hardest swimming stroke to do.
That's
and
true.
And it's the most taxing physically. And it's also the most difficult to actually sync up your breathing. Because unlike a front crawl where you can breathe from side to side, your head is going to be submerged for the vast majority of this. So how do you tolerate that for 9 hours? I can't even, we were just saying off air, I can't even wrap my head around putting up with it for 9 minutes. And you're doing it for 9 hours.
I'm specialized in a monofin swimming, which involved a lot the dolphin kick. So I've been the world champion in 2008 for the 6 kilometers swimming with the monofin, which was only a dolphin kick, but for sure wearing the fin, so it's giving you a lot of support, which you can do 6 kilometers in 55 minutes. But so the group of muscles itself that I'm going to use for this attempt, I've been using for a lot of years in my life as a professional, but trying to make it more extreme to see how the ability can go with me, because just make the challenge harder and harder. This is what makes me alive, I believe.
And tell us a little bit about your training. How many hours are you training, and what's the hardest part for you so far?
So training for not less than 4 hours. The hardest part is
all of it.
That's true. Just managing this with my working schedule. This is maybe the hardest part, because training itself, it makes me enjoy. It makes me even more awake, more powerful, more happy. But sometimes, even if you're not doing any work and just doing training, sometimes you get lazy. Sometimes you feel that it's not the day for training today. So when you're doing work and doing this at the same time, it's extra effort, yeah.
What about the mental kind of realization of what you're about to do? Again, I've said it many times on the show, mentally, I'm as weak as a paper bag. How the heck do you set about ensuring that mentally you're ready for this challenge? 9 hours with a dolphin kick, that's madness to me.
Mentally is the main part, that's true. Mentally is the main part. And this is the most enjoyable part because I'm doing also, I do teach freediving. Freediving, it's a lot mentally involved. So freediving, it's at the time that when you start to feel that you really need to breathe because you're holding your breath for a long time, here's a mental challenge. It starts and you start to speak to your mind, to you take over your mind and your brain, and you give the actions that you want to do, to stay longer or just stop now. The same happens with me in my challenges, but in freediving it's just a couple of minutes, but in my challenges it take hours. And
when does your mind have to kick into gear, just out of interest, in the 9 hour?
Everything.
In the first minute or?
After the first 1 hour.
Really?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah,
so the first 1 hour is quite straightforward.
Yeah.
And then it becomes a battle of wills.
Yeah, and then look, you were wrong to do this.
Yeah. Do you have a support boat next to you? Because it must be quite tempting. If I had a support boat next to me, I'd be trying to. I don't know how I would. I'm just trying to visualize trying to climb into a boat when my legs and hands are handcuffed.
You'd be nodding a signal to them aggressively.
Be like Flipper,
Like,
just kind
take
of.
me out of here.
Do you have a craft with you on the swim, or?
Yeah, it's like usual. The big support comes from Dubai. They always provide us with Dubai ambulance boats, Dubai police boats. Also, this event is hosted by Nakhil, so they are going to provide us with another rescue boat, which makes like 3 boats during the event to secure. But the Guinness World Records standards that I am not allowed to even touch the boat during all the
you're not
hours.
allowed to get out the water. You've
No.
got to stay in the water continuously for 9 hours.
That's true. Yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
my
yeah.
Lord.
Have you ever gotten, do you get a cramp when you're doing something like this? How do you get through if you get a cramp?
It shouldn't happen.
It shouldn't
happen.
You're
yeah.
prepared for that, basically.
Exactly.
I've got to
exactly.
say this because a lot of people can't see Shehab who's in with us. You look 1,000,000%. I've not seen a man wear a white shirt quite like you, Shehab, since Jeff Bezos. There's not an ounce of fat on that physique. I'm sure you're going to absolutely smash it.
Does it
Chris.
slightly intimidate you that the current record holder is named Dolphin Ratish?
It affects a lot.
It's not his name.
I'm pretty sure that's a stage name. I question whether his real name is Dolphin.
Well, you have Aquaman.
Exactly.
So you have your own stage name to compete with.
Yeah.
Tell us a little bit about when this is happening. I understand it's just a little over a month from now. Where is it happening? Can people come out and support? How can they follow your journey?
So it's a full public day. It's a free for attempt for anyone who would like to come and watch. It's at Dubai Islands. Will be the event will start about 8 a.m. and it's going to take all the 9 hours until I finish. So people, you can be free, to come whenever it's convenient for you to see. Mostly, it's the most excitement part at the end, like the last 3 or 4 hours of the race. It's at this time where I need the real support,
Yeah.
watching people outside. So
Does that make a difference?
a lot of difference.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't hear anyone from outside, but from inside the water. But when I go take a breath and see people around, it
of
makes a
course.
big push. Yeah.
Wow.
And that's taking place on the 26th of November. I'm sure we'll be catching up with Shehab once again after that record is complete, as he's mentioned, the Dubai Islands. So if you do want to find out more, if you want to participate and support Shehab, you can follow him as well at AquamanDXB. Thanks so much for coming in, Shehab, to
Thanks
tell us
for
about
inviting
it.
me.
Shehab.
Thank you.
Yeah, we
Good to
wish
see you guys.
We wish you so much luck. Not that you need it, as Chris has
No.
pointed out. Your physique speaks for itself.
Thanks
so
so
thanks,
much.
Thanks so much for joining us. All right, we do have more coming up on the show. Living on a Prior, in fact, coming up on the next hour. So stay tuned.
More of Off Script is coming up next.
On the UAE's #1 talk radio station, Dubai Eye 103.8.